I'm waking up in increments, one heavy breath at a time, counting all the reasons why your hands no longer mine. The clock upon the bedside table skipped a second or two, like it couldn't find the rhythm in the world that's missing you. I poured a glass of water, let it sit until it's warm, just a small quiet witness to the center of the storm. I saw you in a stranger's walk on 5th and Main today. I almost called your name before the color turned to gray. It's the phantom limb of us that keeps me reaching for the air, touching empty spaces where I used to find you there. I'm a vessel with a fracture, I'm a bird without a wing, learning how to survive on the memory of a thing. And I'm living on half a heartbeat, dragging through the day, trying to find the words for what the silence wants to say. The left side of my chest is just an echo in a cave, treading water in the middle of a never-ending wave. One half is still in yesterday, holding on so tight. The other half is freezing in the middle of the night. I'm stumbling through the rhythm, I'm falling out of time, living on half a heartbeat, 'cause the other half was mine, and I gave it all to you. There's a suitcase in the closet that we never got to pack, a ticket to a future that we can't go borrow back. I try to find a melody, I try to find a spark, but it's hard to write a story when you're shaking in the dark. Is it better to have broken or to never feel the beat? I'm staring at the pavement, watching shadows at my feet. And I'm living on half a heartbeat, dragging through the day, trying to find the words for what the silence wants to say. The left side of my chest is just an echo in a cave, treading water in the middle of a never-ending wave. One half is still in yesterday, holding on so tight. The other half is freezing in the middle of the night. I'm stumbling through the rhythm, I'm falling out of time, living on half a heartbeat, 'cause the other half was mine. They say the heart's a muscle, that it grows back twice as strong, but they don't tell you how to live when half of it is gone. It's a lopsided existence, it's a heavy hollow sound, like a hammer hitting velvet when there's no one else around. Getting quieter now, just half a song, just half a life. I'm still here, I guess, but I'm only half alive. I'm looking back through a lens that's cracked and blurred, replaying every argument and every whispered word. It's funny how the hindsight makes the jagged edges soft. I forgot about the heavy rain, I only feel the warmth, But the sunlight in the pictures is a lie, we told the light. A colorful distraction from the coming of the night. I'm digging through the ashes of a fire that's long gone, trying to find a moment where it all started going wrong. Was it in the way you turned away while I was missing, or the way my I love you started sounding like penance? We were building up a kingdom on a foundation of sand, watching palaces of promises slip right through our hands. Now I'm standing in the ruins with the map I can't translate, realizing that the perfect us was just a trick of fate. The coffee shop on 4th Street looks smaller than before, and I'm just a stranger knocking on a memory's door. 'Cause love in retrospect is a beautiful, cruel ghost. It shows you what you wanted when you're missing it the most. It filters out the teardrops and it polishes the pain, until I'm standing in the sunshine, forgetting all the rain. Older than is so much kinder than the now could ever be. I'm falling for a version of you that didn't stay for me. It's a gallery of almost in a hall of might have been, losing myself in the static where the memory begins. I remember the late night drives, the windows rolled down low, but I forgot the way the silence felt 1,000 miles ago. I remember how your laughter sounded like a Sunday bell, but I forgot the bitter taste of every farewell. We only keep the highlights, the golden hour glow. We hide the parts of us that were too broken to show. And now I'm lovesick for a person who doesn't even exist, chasing after shadows in a cold and heavy mist. 'Cause love in retrospect is a beautiful, cruel ghost. It shows you what you wanted when you're missing it the most. It filters out the teardrops and it polishes the pain, until I'm standing in the sunshine, forgetting all the rain. Older than is so much kinder than the now could ever be. I'm falling for a version of you that didn't stay for me. It's a gallery of almost in a hall of might have been, losing myself in the static where the memory begins. If I could go back to the start, would I do it all again, knowing that the happily would lead us to the end? Or is the beauty of the rearview just a mercy for the soul, to make the empty spaces feel a little bit more whole? I'm decorating a graveyard with flowers made of silk, crying over memories like they're spilled and wasted milk. In the rearview mirror, you look so close, but you're miles away. Just a beautiful golden ghost. I'll keep the pictures, I'll burn the rest. Love in retrospect is the hardest test. Asphalt's glowing orange under the sodium glare. I'm walking through the midnight just to breathe a different air. Every 30 paces there's a circle on the ground, a little pool of safety where the silence can be found. But then I hit the darkness in the spaces in between, the places where you used to be, the things we should have been. I'm counting poles like rosary beads along the avenue, each one a flickering reminder that I'm far away from you. I colliding with the glass above my head. Desperate for a fire that's been cold and long since dead. It reminds me of the way I keep on crashing into us, turning gold and silver memories into heaps of gray and rust. The houses are all sleeping with their curtains tightly drawn. They don't know I'm out here waiting for a phantom dawn. Just a man beneath the lamppost with a shadow 10 feet tall, trying to find a reason not to let the teardrops fall. And oh, it's a long walk under lonely streetlights, shining on the wreckage of 1,000 sleepless nights. They're standing like old soldiers in a line along the way, guarding all the secrets that we never got to say. 1 mile of regret, 2 miles of the blues, walking holes into the soles of my tired, heavy shoes. I'm just a drifter in the glow, a ghost beneath the heat, searching for a heart that isn't buried in the street. The traffic light is blinking yellow at the edge of town, like a heartbeat that's forgotten how to keep the rhythm down. I remember how we leaned against that brick wall in the rain, before the love we manufactured turned to specialized pain. Now the streetlights are the only thing that watch me as I go, casting long and jagged shapes on everything I know. They don't offer any warmth, they just offer me a view of exactly how much space is left in a life without you. Oh, and oh, it's a long walk under lonely streetlights, shining on the wreckage of 1,000 sleepless nights. They're standing like old soldiers in a line along the way, guarding all the secrets that we never got to say. 1 mile of regret, 2 miles of the blues, walking holes into the soles of my tired, heavy shoes. I'm just a drifter in the glow, a ghost beneath the heat. Sometimes one will flicker and it dies before my eyes, and I feel a sudden panic under cold and empty skies. Cause if all the lights go out and the world is finally black, I might lose the path that's supposed to lead me back. But back to what? An empty bed, a door I cannot close. The wind is getting sharper and it's biting through my clothes. Humming in the dark, just another light post, just another spark. I'm almost at the corner, but the street goes on forever. Lonely street lights keep me company, since you won't, since you can't. to go, leaving purple bruises on the mountain peaks of snow. You were the light that blinded me, the gold inside the flame. Now I'm just a silhouette, whispering your name. The moon is stepping forward to claim the empty throne, and I'm learning how it feels to be eclipsed and all alone. There's a coldness in the garden where the lilies used to bloom, just a geometry of shadows in a suffocating room. We were a solar system, spinning on a tether. I thought the gravity of us would keep the stars together, but the alignment shifted by a fraction of a degree, and suddenly you're casting a shadow over me. I'm standing in the totality, the world is turning gray, watching all my colors simply bleed themselves away. I reach out for the warmth we had, the summer in your skin, but the dark is rushing outward and the dark is rushing in. Now I'm living in the umbra, in the center of the chill, waiting for the world to turn, but everything is still. You're the moon across my spirit, a cold and silver stone, turning all my daylight into something I don't own. It's a long dark winter in the middle of the day, watching every hope I had slowly fade away, eclipsed by the memories, swallowed by the black, searching for a sun that isn't coming back. The birds have stopped their singing, they think it's time to sleep. They don't know the difference between the shallow and the deep. I'm looking through a pinhole at the life I used to lead, seeing all the moments where I let my spirit bleed. You're moving on so steadily, a transit in the sky, leaving me in darkness without even a goodbye. The stars are coming out, but their light is out of reach, like the lessons of the love that I didn't want to teach. Now I'm living in the umbra, in the center of the chill, waiting for the world to turn, but everything is still. You're the moon across my spirit, a cold and silver stone, turning all my daylight into something I don't own. It's a long dark winter in the middle of the day, watching every hope I had slowly fade away, eclipsed by the memories, swallowed by the black, searching for a sun that isn't coming back. Is there a ring of fire? Is there a crown of light? Or am I just a casualty of this artificial night? The temperature is dropping, I can see my every breath. It's a quiet kind of morning, it's a celestial kind of death. The light is returning, but I'm still in the dark. I'm a shadow on the pavement, I'm a missing spark. Eclipse shadows longer than the truth, wasting all my sunshine, wasting all my youth. The floorboard creaks at 2 a.m., a sound I've come to know, like a secret conversation with a life from long ago. I leave the porch light burning, though I know you won't be home. Just a lighthouse for a memory in a house that's grown so cold. I see you in the corner of my eye when I pass the kitchen glass, just a shimmer in the sunlight, just a shadow on the grass. There's a perfume in the curtains that the wind can't blow away, a lingering reminder of the words we couldn't say. I find myself apologizing to the air inside the room for the garden that I planted that will never get to bloom. I'm walking on my tiptoes so I don't disturb the dust of a promise that we polished till it turned to settle rust. Now there are ghosts in the hallway, dancing in the dark, feeding on the embers of a long extinguished spark. I hear your laughter down the stairs, a silver haunting ring. But when I turn to find you, I'm not holding anything. It's a haunted kind of heartbreak, a house that's lost its soul, trying to keep a spirit where a person used to hold. I'm living with the phantoms of the way we used to be, and the ghosts in the hallway are the only company for me. I sat down at the table and I set a place for two, a habit of the heart that I just can't seem to undo. The television's flickering, casting blue across the floor, tracing silhouettes of someone who doesn't live here anymore. Are you haunting me because you're lost, or am I just the one who can't admit the movie's over and the credits have all run? Because there are ghosts in the hallway, dancing in the dark, feeding on the embers of a long extinguished spark. I hear your laughter down the stairs, a silver haunting ring. But when I turn to find you, I'm not holding anything. It's a haunted kind of heartbreak, a house that's lost its soul, trying to keep a spirit where a person used to hold. I'm living with the phantoms of the way we used to be, and the ghosts in the hallway are the only company for me. I tried to exercise the feelings, I tried to paint the wood, I tear the whole foundation down this minute if I could. But I'm scared if I leave this house, or if I fix the light, I'll lose the only part of you that's left inside the night. Did you just call my name, or was it just the window pane? Just a trick of the mind, just the love I left behind. Step, step, silence. Step, step, silence. The hallway is empty, the hallway is full. The city's gonna sleep beneath a blanket of blue, but I'm still sitting here holding a 2020 view of you. The street lamps are flickering, tired of the light, and I'm the only soul left to negotiate with the night. I watch the neighbors' windows go dark one by one, until I'm the only lighthouse left waiting for a sun that forgot how to rise, or maybe just forgot my name, leaving me to flicker like a dying candle flame. I'm checking my phone like it's a heartbeat in my hand, tracing the text from a life that didn't go as planned. The refrigerator hums a low and lonely song, asking me why I've been sitting here so long. I've memorized the pattern of the shadows on the wall, watching how they stretch and how they eventually crawl. It's a heavy kind of honor, it's a bitter kind of state, to be the only witness to a love that met its fate. And I'm the last one awake, I'm the last one who cares, talking to the ghosts in the creaks of the stairs. The world is in a dream, but I'm wide, wide awake, counting every piece of a heart that didn't just break. It shattered in the silence, it dissolved in the deep, while the rest of the world is tucked away in their sleep. I'm the guardian of the us that we used to be, the last one awake in this hollowed out tree. If I close my eyes, does the memory disappear? Does you in my head vanish into the air? That's why I keep them open, though they're burning in red. Terrified of the emptiness waiting in the bed. I'm patrolling the borders of a kingdom of one, a soldier for a war that's already been won. And I lost, yeah, I lost every territory of grace. Now I'm just a stranger in a familiar place. And I'm the last one awake, I'm the last one who cares, talking to the ghosts and the creaks of the stairs. The world is in a dream, but I'm wide, wide awake, counting every piece of a heart that didn't just break. It shattered in the silence, it dissolved in the deep, while the rest of the world is tucked away in their sleep. I'm the guardian of the us that we used to be, the last one awake in this hollowed out tree. The clock says 4 a.m., the loneliest hour of all, when the bravest of spirits start to feel small. I'm holding the torch till my fingers turn numb, waiting for a morning that's too frightening to come. If I sleep, then you're gone, if I sleep, it's the end. So I'll sit here forever, my only old friend. Starting to chirp, the sky is turning gray, but I'm still in the night, I'm still miles away. Go to sleep, my heart, it's okay to let go, but I'm the last one awake, and I'm the only one who knows. I'm standing by the workbench where the sawdust used to fall, tracing every notched out line upon the cellar wall. The grease-stained cap is hanging on the peg beside the door, but the footsteps don't come heavy up the hallway anymore. I'm staring at my own hands, see shed. I'll catch you, son, was every single word you ever said. The world was big and terrifying, shadows everywhere, but they couldn't reach the safety of the man sitting in that chair. You were the mountain in the distance, you were the anchor in the bay. You were the don't you worry kid, we'll find a better way. Now I'm the one who's standing in the middle of the storm, and I'd give the world for just 1 minute keeping warm. In my father's embrace, the world was small and kind. I didn't have to carry all these burdens on my mind. The calluses upon your palms were shelter from the rain, a steady, quiet fortress for a heart that's now in pain. I'm reaching through the empty air, I'm searching for a trace of the boy who felt invincible in my father's embrace. Now the silence is a mountain that I'm trying to climb alone, since the strongest arms I ever knew were carved into a stone. I sat down with your ledger, tried to make the numbers right, but I can't find the wisdom that you carry through the night. There's a hole inside the Sunday afternoon, a missing sound of the radio in the way it paced upon the garden ground. I find myself still dial your number on the phone before I remember that you found a kingdom of your own. And I'm left here with the blueprint of a man I'm trying to be, while the ghost of your protection is still hovering over me. In my father's embrace, the world was small and kind. I didn't have to carry all these burdens on my mind. The calluses upon your palms were shelter from the rain, a steady, quiet fortress for a heart that's now in pain. I'm reaching through the empty air, I'm searching for a trace of the boy who felt invincible in my father's embrace. Now the silence is a mountain that I'm trying to climb alone, since the strongest arms I ever knew were carved into a stone. Well, you taught me how to fix a leak and how to drive a nail, but you never taught me how to breathe when the hero started to fail. I'm wearing your old jacket, but I'm shivering inside, holding on to every lesson, holding on to all the pride. The 22 weeks since winter feels longer than the rest, without the heartbeat of the man who always knew what's best. I'll keep the tools clean, I'll keep the grass mowing, but I've never felt so small, I've never felt so grown. I'm just a shadow looking for your face, still waiting, still wishing for my father's embrace, for my father's porch light is humming a low, lonely tune under the gaze of a 22 niece moon. You left your keys on the counter by the sink, right next to the water. You didn't stay to drink, the door didn't slam. There was no grand parade, just the soft, heavy sound of a promise delayed. And I'm standing in the hallway, watching the clock, waiting for a key that will never turn the lock. We spent the last year speaking in codes, building up walls on our separate roads. I kept waiting for the big talk to start, to mend all the fractures inside of your heart. But the air stayed heavy and the words stayed small, until there was nothing left to say at all. Now I'm reading the silence like a letter you wrote, 1,000 I'm sorries stuck in my throat. And oh, it's the weight of the unspoken goodbyes, the I love yous that died in the corners of eyes. We walked out of the movie before the end of the show, leaving all of the answers we'll never get to know. It's a ghost in the kitchen, it's a knot in the chest, a story that's finished but won't let me rest. The loudest sound in this empty room tonight is a goodbye you never gave when you walked into the light. Searching for a sign, a crack in the armor, a break in the line. But you were just a shadow, moving through the hall, packing up a life while you said nothing at all. And oh, it's the weight of the unspoken goodbyes, the I love yous that died in the corners of eyes. We walked out of the movie before the end of the show, leaving all of the answers we'll never get to know. It's a ghost in the kitchen, it's a knot in the chest, a story that's finished but won't let me rest. The loudest sound in this empty room tonight is the goodbye you never gave when you walked into the light. Yeah. Is it better to scream? Is it better to fight than to vanish like smoke in the middle of the night? Now I'm haunted by the sentences we never got to finish, watching the heat of our history diminish. I'm shouting at the walls, I'm calling out your name, but the silence just offers more of the same. So stay, just stay in the air. The bar that you didn't say is everywhere, in the dust, in the rain, in the permanent ache of the refrain unspoken, still broken. The tide came in at midnight, but it didn't bring the sea. Just a 2026 winter and the ghost of you and me. I'm sitting on the carpet where the moonlight meets the floor, tracing every footprint that leads out toward the door. The air is getting heavy like a lungful of the rain. I'm trying to find the surface, but I'm anchored to the pain. I haven't left this hallway, but I'm miles beneath the swell, living in the silence of this liquid blue hell. I see your silver earrings sitting on the nightstand shelf, like little drops of mercury. I keep them for myself. The pressure's in my eardrums and the light is getting dim. I'm reaching for your hand, but I've forgotten how to swim. Every time I breathe your name, a bubble hits the dark, a tiny hollow witness to a cold and dying spark. I'm a sailor with no compass, I'm a ship without a mast, drowning in fragment of a love that couldn't last. And I'm drowning in the blue, sinking through the gray, watching all the color of my spirit wash away. The deeper that I go, the more the quiet starts to scream. I'm losing every memory like a fragment of a dream. It's a heavy, hollow ocean, it's a salt-stained, lonely view in the middle of the deep end. I am looking for you, no oxygen, no mercy, just the way you used to be. I'm drowning in the blue, and the blue is all I see. I remember when the water used to be a summer pond, before the now became a gap that we couldn't get beyond. I'm looking through the ripples at the life I used to lead, seeing all the moments where I let my spirit bleed. The fish are swimming circles round the things we never said, a graveyard of forever in a cold and watery bed. I try to kick for sunlight, try to break the heavy seal, but the weight of what I'm missing is the only thing that's real. And I'm drowning in the blue, sinking through the gray, watching all the color of my spirit wash away. The deeper that I go, the more the quiet starts to scream. I'm losing every memory like a fragment of a dream. It's a heavy, hollow ocean, it's a salt-stained, lonely view in the middle of the deep end. I am looking for you, no oxygen, no mercy, just the way you used to be. I'm drowning in the blue, and the blue is all I see. Is there a shore, is there a beach, or are you just forever out of reach? The temperature is dropping as I hit the ocean floor. I don't wanna fight the pulling of the water anymore. Let the waves take my sorrow, let the salt take my breath. It's a beautiful blue-tinted kind of death. Bubbles in the dark, a fading little spark. It's so quiet down here, away from the fear, just the blue, just the thought of you. Down, 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 down. I'm staring at the ceiling, where the shadows start to fray, and this 20/20 sensor, where the sky is always gray. I reach for your side of the mattress in the dark, but I only found the cold and a dying phantom spark. The coffee's gone bitter, the radio's gone dead, but the noise won't stop spinning around inside my head. I'm a radio tower leaning in the rain, broadcasting the frequency of a specialized pain. Every memory of dream that was starting to dissolve around a center axis that no longer will revolve. We're just two different channels on a television set, changing every story until we haven't even met. The air between us crackles with the things we didn't say, as the color of our history slowly bleeds away. And I've got static in my veins, white noise in my soul, counting all the pieces that'll never make a whole. I'm reaching for the signal, but the air is thick and black. I'm sending out to help me, but there's nothing coming back. It's a hum in my heartbeat, a buzz in my chest, a restless kind of torture that won't let me rest. I'm losing your image to the snow and the rains, living with the rhythm of the static in my veins. Is there anybody listening? Is the cable finally cut? I'm screaming in a hallway where every door is shut. The feedback is rising. It's a high-pitched scream, waking me